Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me. I recognize some faces, so it's nice to be back here. I'll give you a hard time because I cannot stand in my place. So
that's fine.
Okay. Okay. And now, in terms of time, how much do you have? Okay, yeah. Just to budget my time. Okay, so I'll go and stick with, well, let us start with the title of this event, or this speech, of this discussion. What was the title? Do you remember the title? Okay, what was the title we said? Like it's kind of the like general little two-liners that explain today. Well, I suggested that, well, practicing Islam today is very easy. As if like I didn't see yes. I kind of, no, it's not that easy. There are challenges and we are struggling. Okay, but look now, if you want to study fiqh, is there a place to study fiqh? There is a place to study fiqh and like things about Islam. If you want to study Islam in details, you can go and specialize in that. If you want to study tajweed, there are tajweed classes. If you want to be active, you can be active. If you want to hold a demonstration with proper planning and taking the proper permits, you can do that. Okay. What's better? If you want to do tabligh, what do you do? What do you do? You know tabligh? Are you familiar with the tabligh? Jama'at tabligh? Like there's like at least two ways, okay? One is join the Jama'at tabligh, and there's another way. Can you guess another unconventional way of, you know what tabligh is like? Conveying. Tabligh means balagh, conveying the message, or da'wah, okay? So if you want to do da'wah systematically, and you want to prepare yourself, what do you do? Yeah.
Increase your knowledge.
Okay, increase your knowledge. Yeah, let us make it as far as we can, like kind of discussion instead of, because you don't want me to keep lecturing. Okay, increase your knowledge. Okay. Yes.
Be an example.
Be an example. That's very good. Okay. Now, yeah. And in terms of studies, if you want to study to prepare yourself to be an example and to be kind of this vehicle that carry the message of Islam to others. And here I'm not talking about others necessarily. We are not in the business of conversion. You know, in Islam we do not convert people. We just make Islam clear. And this is the Quranic concept of al-balagh. And this is how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was addressed. Okay, just in alayka illa al-balagh al-mubin. Your duty is what? To make a clear. Balagh mubin is mubin like bayn. This is wadih. It's clear, cut clear. Okay. So now, if you want to take this route or to take this function, what comes to your mind? The best thing to study? Sorry? Okay, you can. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to trick you with the answer, and I'm glad with your answers so far. You can study Sharia. You can study. You can, again, as I said, there's a Jama'ah by itself called Jama'at Tabligh. If you are familiar with the Jama'ah, or probably I like my friend who was asked, what do you study? What are you specializing in the university? And he said, I'm specializing in tabligh. And the person said, it was the sheikh in the masjid. He said, what? I haven't heard that a university has a tabligh specialty field. He said, yes, I'm studying communication. Okay? And that what is communication is to be able to what? Communication is what? Is based on the idea that there is three components. There is a message, there is audience, and there is the medium, and you need to study to know your audience, you need to know the message, and here comes where the idea of, yeah, like increase your knowledge, and then you need to transfer this knowledge. Well, this is in this introduction, I am trying to say, like to put forth that we have opportunities, right? Okay, so we should recognize these opportunities, and at the same time there are difficulties. Okay, now what kind of, like, again in the little introduction 3-liners that like was sent in the email, that practicing Islam and being a Muslim today is very easy, or it may be not. Okay, so why it is not that easy, and why at some point we feel, sometimes we are made to feel uncomfortable, as if Islam or being a Muslim or practicing Islam is something unnatural and American or something weird. Why is that? What do you think? Yeah? Yes, go ahead.
People discriminate because they're not informed, so they just like go off of what's in the media. So what's in the media is not always 100% correct. So that's their impression of us.
Okay. So we have kind of incorrect impressions in the society. Okay. Other things like what? Is that true, or we feel 100% comfortable, and the claim that we feel uncomfortable with being Muslims, at least that sometimes it's just imagination of the mind, but we face no difficulties whatsoever. So am I suggesting something that does not exist? What do you think? Or it does exist? It does exist, so why? I need, like, okay, we got one, yes? Okay. So we are kind of a minority. Okay, that's true. Okay. Other things, other challenges.
Sometimes it feels like there's so many different opposition groups against you. Like everything sometimes just goes against Islam. You know what I mean? Like, there's not one part of the world that you can look at and say, okay, yeah, Muslims are able to like live with peace without fear. Like look at France, look at Palestine, look all over. Like it just seems that we just have so many opposition groups, and yet we're so many, but we don't oppose back.
Okay.
And it kind of trickles down here.
Okay. Well, that's very true, and it kind of should give us the realization. Yes, we do not live in the time of the height of our civilization. That's true. When you are at the height of your civilization, people would be motivated and happy to imitate you. Okay? And there was a time when we were in this position. That's very true. Okay? And actually, we think that that's a long time. Actually, it wasn't that long time. Okay? Now, 200 years ago, we were in pretty good position. Okay? 500 years ago, although there was problems, several problems at several levels, but that was significant. Our existence was significant. I can speak of my grandfather, like you spoke of, like different areas. Okay, my grandfather used to, like a merchant, as they say. He used to go to Amman, Al-Qudus, and Baghdad with no passport. Now, this is just my grandfather. It wasn't a long time ago. Okay. My father used to go to a little city now called Sutura in Lebanon. Now you need a procedure to get there. They used to go have lunch there and come back. Okay, so the point I am trying to make is, yes, we should recognize that we are not at a point where we are the leaders of the civilization, of the contemporary civilization. Yeah, that's very true. And actually, this is the challenge. And you cannot feel comfortable, fully comfortable, until your civilizational message, your civilizational values, your ideas are the dominant ideas. So now it is funny now how that can you imagine a better attitude than the attitude of being honest, of being modest, of being considerate, of being helpful, of feeling obligation to help your brother and sister? Like the things that I just came to my mind, aren't they great things? So now these are our values. So there should be something wrong in the way of thinking, in today's thinking, that we, the carrier of these paramount values, are not looked up upon. There's something wrong. There's something not fair. So now, however, regardless whatever difficulties that we may be encountering, yes, sir, there's a question. Yes, sir.
I just want to kind of add or say about this kind of difficulty that which is not just about kind of today, but it's like a perpetual problem which man in general and Muslims must face, is the issue of your temptations and like the ethical challenges which we face. I mean, these kind of opposition groups are not necessarily a bad thing considered from the perspective of spirituality. I mean, Prophet ﷺ was probably one of the most oppressed persons, but that made him the prophet, because we think of him high because he went through all of that. So that made him a better person. So from the perspective of being closer to God, that's actually not something we want, but it has the effect of making us better if we react to it in the right way. But the real challenge is those things where we find ourselves weak in respect to us being able to do the right thing. So if for example, Islam tells us not to take, let's say, riba or something like that, and if we feel not strong will or have that strong faith enough to do the right thing, I personally feel that is the more challenging question. I mean, because that you will be questionable for, and it's not like somebody else's thing. It's your responsibility. And the society right now makes it really, really hard in some respects compared to what a Muslim society, an ideal, which or a better society in terms of ethical. So it's very, very materialistic. So there's so much emphasis on consumption and so many other aspects that it makes your spirituality really, really gets challenged. I mean, it's also an opportunity, but it's one of the biggest temptations.
Okay, very well put. Okay, again, like here, okay, so we complain about challenges, but look, challenges might make you stronger, and more, like, see, challenges, either you get defeated, okay, or you decide, no, I can, kind of struggle with the challenges, and you can prevail, and you can become stronger. Okay, and here you mentioned that it's very true. And if we look carefully about the dynamics about the challenges, actually the hardest part, not the hardest part, or the kind of the most losing part, is to be in between. Okay, and sometimes I like look, if you are in a river, in a running river, if you are half in and half out, and this is, you will face, you can, the river will take you, and probably this person would die, okay, because of the strength of the current. So there is no alternative that to have enough strength and to go above the pressures. And as far as you expose yourself to the pressures of the environment are stronger than you. And you cannot withhold those pressures. Now, the hard and easy trick is to go above the pressure, and at that time, you do not feel it. You do not feel the pressure. You do not feel the temptation, because you flip the page, or you close the door, or you had a different mental set that you never imagine that, or it doesn't come to your mind. But if you open a little door from the shaitan will come. Okay? Once you close it and close it tightly, you are done. Okay? And obviously, you do not, for the shaitan, you do not close it one time. Actually, you close it one time, but you keep applying the ceilings and applying and renewing the screws and the nails. Okay? Because also the shaitan has its own tricks. Okay? But there is no alternative that's taking Islam seriously. Otherwise, it is easier to take Islam seriously than take it lightly. Okay?